All right, so we are going to talk about the Southeast region or the Native American tribes that lived in the Southeast region. So if we see on our map down here, and let's get right into it. There are many tribes within the Southeast region. In the early years, there were five major tribes. There were the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole. The Cherokee Nation had two types of towns. The red town was known for war, and the white town was known for peace. A red chief was a leader in a war. When they weren't at war, they trained warriors, and during this time, the white chief was the leader. The white chief would serve on a council. He would help make decisions for the tribe. The Cherokee also had women warriors. Cherokee women held power over their families and they participated in government. They fought in wars. Naihe, or Nancy Ward, was known as the beloved woman for turning the tide of a battle. She showed bravery even after Creek warriors killed her husband. She charged right at them. The other Cherokee warriors followed her lead, and she was a respected woman that later became a peacemaker. The early peoples in the southeast had many natural resources. The climate was moderate. There's fertile soil to grow crops. There are rivers, lakes, coastal waters, which provided drinking water and a place to fish. The land is covered by many large forests, which provides a habitat for wild animals. In the southeast, most days are sunny, but there is still enough rain to make sure that crops flourish. With areas rich in natural resources, the early people were able to be hunters, gatherers, fishermen, and farmers. The early peoples of the southeast had a wide variety of animals to hunt. They often migrated through the forest and along streams. The most popular animal to hunt in these forests was deer. Other animals like turkeys, rabbits, turtles were also hunted. Nearby waters were home to many different kinds of fish. While hunting and fishing, the early southeast people would travel by foot, rafts, or canoes. To catch food, they used bows and arrows, spears, and nets. They also made animal traps. The Southeast hunters were known for using every part of the animals they killed. For example, they used the turtle eggs and meat for food, and the turtle shells for rattles. The rattles were often used during ceremonies and prayers. These early peoples were able to gather food, farm, and hunt. The forest bushes had berries. The water provided fish and shellfish. They grew corn, or what they called maize, beans, squash, pumpkins, and many other crops. They used beautifully designed baskets to collect their foods. Many of the early Southeast people lived close to waterways. Many were by the Mississippi River. The peoples of the Southeast did not have to go far for food, and this means they could make permanent homes that were sturdy. One type of home was called a wattle and daub home. It was made by weaving river cane, woods, and vines into a frame. Then mud was packed onto the frame. This made a roof with bark and grass. These homes were small. One family lived in each home. The Southeast people lived in villages. Each village had about 30 to 60 homes. They had a village square for meetings and ceremonies. Tall poles were tied together and surrounded the village. It was a stockade, and that was a high fence for protection. The Southeast people have many traditional beliefs and customs. A Choctaw elder tells about the evening dances. It was told to me that they would dance all night. They said they would dance so much that they left deep impressions in the ground and they continued to dance on. Two traditional ceremonies from the southeastern tribes include the green corn ceremony and the cry ceremony. Corn was the most important food. It played a role in their religion and ceremonies. A member from the Seminole Nation explains the green corn ceremony. It was called Pasquita. It was a way to show gratitude for a good harvest. It was held when the first corn crop was edible. They celebrated coming together as a community. They celebrated spiritual purity. This was a time to be grateful and forgive others. Gratitude and forgiveness continue to be a big part of the Seminole beliefs. Another ceremony was the cry ceremony. A Choctaw elder explains that the cry ceremony is an ancient practice to help families cope with the loss of their loved ones. The clothing for ceremonies have bright colors. They are covered with important tribal symbols. Decorations could be a circle and a cross. This represents the sun and the stars. Other symbols stand for mountains and valleys with a path beside them. The diamond-shaped trim means respect for nature. In World War I, the Choctaws served in the United States Army. They had a special skill. They became code talkers. They spoke their native language in front of on the front lines. Other Choctaws could receive the messages. Secret information was passed safely. German spies tried to intercept the messages, but they couldn't understand them. Choctaw code talkers helped end World War I.